अरे तो कैसे हो आप लोग? Today we got a couple of stories at our hands. We got news about Watch Dogs, Black Ops, PS5 and Xbox, and you might want to hide your family before hearing the news. We got some good news, but we also have some bad news, alright? And we're gonna be getting right into that. First off, I'm gonna say that I'm doing a $100 giveaway. There will be a top pin comment below if you're interested. Check it out, smash like, and if an alpha chat like you is new here, I cover all the big gaming news, so burn the subscribe mardo. And our first story is about Watch Dogs, and I know that some of you guys will be like, I kind of don't care, and personally I also don't care, like, let me keep a $150, but the news is kind of ironic because we're hearing that the source code for Watch Dogs Legion may have been leaked. Alright, now understand, we're talking about Watch Dogs. That's a hacking game, right? And some of you will be wondering what's the source code, right? Even I was wondering, right? I don't even know what the source code is, but Ayub was like, hey, what can people do with the source code? And our expert replied by saying that lol, pretty much anything, easily ported through various platforms, modified code without breaking a sweat, just about anything you could do if you were developing the game yourself. So he said that, and we have a huge article on the situation. We're hearing that there was a poster on this website, which I don't want to say on YouTube, right? Like YouTube and this website do not love each other, okay? 558 gigabytes of bundle of files, they are doing the rounds, and apparently back in October, the ransomware gang did threaten to leak the source code, right? And they have 558 gigabytes of presumably uncompressed assets of the game, and they can do literally anything with that. But the plot twist is that, hey man, just maybe the game about hackers has been hacked. If this is really true, well, a game about hacking got hacked, ladies and gentlemen. 2020, everybody. Now, ladies and gentlemen, hide your families, okay? Forget about your wives, just hide your whole families, because Okami, he did spot the fact that IGN Italy, alright? They say that PS5 will not support 1440p, right? And if you're a Sony pony, or I should say if you're an Xbot, if you play on Xbox, please don't laugh, alright? We're gonna be having some bad news about Xbox in just a little bit, and I'm probably gonna say, hey, if you're a Sony pony, don't laugh, okay? So don't laugh, guys. We're just covering the news, right? Like, we got some good news, we got some bad news, and don't be offended. I cover all the news, all the good news for PS5 and Xbox, right? Like, I'm not making this news up. I'm just reporting, okay? Don't shoot the messenger, okay? PS5 will not support 1440p resolution. It's official, said by IGN Italy. They say that the editorial team of Sony, they have officially confirmed to them that PS5 will not support the native resolution at 1440p, a resolution that is certainly irrelevant for most players but very dear to the PC gamers. And these are cold hard facts, right? And by the looks of it, Sony really did drop a stun grenade on the community, right? Take a look at the streets, right? Like, we have a homie out there, like, he kind of added me in the situation. I see you, my man. And you can see we got Twitter finger pros out here, and our experts are dropping massive deuces, okay? Like, we got a lot of sauce out here, man. It is kind of tough, as one gentleman would say. Sony gotta suck up on a kilo of peanuts, man, and they gotta give us 120 FPS. They gotta give us 2K, 4K, everything, right? But really though, I think that the news is bad. Don't get me wrong, right? Like, even I wanted 1440p. I was like, hey man, most games will probably gonna be like 120 FPS at 1440p, maybe not at 1080p, but by the looks of it, PS5 is gonna do 1080p or 4K, right? It's not gonna be like, hey, 2K. I don't think they want to give us that many options. I think it's gonna complicate the system, right? And Black Ops has been confirmed to be 120 FPS, and I was like, maybe that game might be like 2K and 120 FPS. There is no way that it's gonna be 4K and 120. Maybe it can be, now that I'm thinking about it, right? Maybe it can be 4K 120 FPS, but not native 4K, and definitely not with the RTX, right? If it's RTX, it gotta be like 4K 30 FPS. But I think you can easily be 1080p and 120 FPS, and I think most games will do 120 FPS but at 1080p. So if you think like that, it's not really that bad, but surely some people actually got like 1440p monitors, okay? Some people really did spend money on getting that, and now they're gonna be pounding sand, right? Like, it's time to sell your monitors, buckles. Speaking of Black Ops, now understand that this is just a fake rumor. This is probably fake, right? But I still want to point this out, that earlier today there were rumors going around that said that Black Ops will be taking 280 gigabytes of minimum space. And personally, yo, that was wild. You guys can see the reaction out here, like people just like not stopping, people dropping deuces, people trying to gangbang Activision, like you know, there's no tomorrow. I don't think a chat like you understand that, man. If this was really true, the amount of memes that we would probably have seen from this news, it would have been insane. I think it would have probably cured entire worlds depression, right? Like, I'm just gonna put it out there. But memes aside, the news is actually good. I'm kind of shaking, okay? I'm shaking because Black Ops on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S will be 135 gigabytes at launch. So yeah, the news is good, and this is basically the breakdown. This is like for Sony Pony PS4, this is for Sony Pony PS5, this is for the Xbox out there, 93, 136 gigs. So honestly, it's not that bad, and Activision did Uno as well, because previously they did say that if you want to have the Ultra RTX at 4K, you gotta have 250 gigs of raw SSD or HD space, right? They did say that, but now they have dropped another PC specifications. This is the adjusted one, this is the revised version, and in fact now it's gonna be 125 gigs. So they have cut everything in half, and that is a massive W. But I wonder if it really was 285 gigs. Like, I know that like earlier today people were hiding their families, let alone their wives and children, right? Normally, like, you gotta hide your wives, this and that, but people were hiding their familias. It's a good news, but it's a sad day, ladies and gentlemen. We're also hearing about Xbox Series X, and this news, I mean, you know what, if you're a Sony Pony, don't laugh, alright? Xbox Series S reportedly has 364 gigs of storage for games and apps. Now, somebody was able to get the Xbox Series S, like, that person lives in Canada, I'm in Canada. Let me know where your stud muffins are at, though. He says that I received it 1 week early from the source, Canada. Feeling really lucky, hope you all receive it soon. According to him, the Series S is 64 gigs. I know that some of you will be out there, will be like, Skizzle, you can go to Walmart, you can find yourself the 1 terabyte SSD and install that, like, that. But not so fast, kings. Not everyone is a Nigerian prince. Not everyone is a prince of Saudi Arabia, right? Like, money doesn't grow on tree, okay? Not everyone is rich, okay? And I know this, that Bob just wanna buy a console and he wanna be set for life, right? And we're talking about a digital only console, so there is no disk drive, so the games are gonna be digital. But I'll still say that for $300, Xbox Series S is still impressive, though. Like, don't get me wrong. And if you're somebody who's only gonna game like once in a blue moon, right? You're only gonna play sports games or Call of Duty, right? Then Xbox Series S is perfectly fine, right? But if you can save $200 extra, you can get yourself the Xbox Series X, my G. Like, I'll say just get that. Or if money is a problem, just save $100 extra. And if you don't care about platforms, you just want to play games, get yourself the PS4 digital edition. 364 gigs, I don't think it's gonna cut the mustard, guys. Like, I'm just gonna keep $150. Now, speaking of PS5 SSD, I did touch on this yesterday because the news actually came from this YouTuber out here, and he did privatize the video. The video is gone. I suspect that Sony reached out to them and they were like, hey, you gotta shut the video down, fool. Good thing you are. And I wish I could play like Tam Tam on his head, right? Like, look at my man. Like, he's enjoying, he's gonna be vitamin D deficient, he's having a time of his life trying to play the Sony Pony console. And the news did come from him, and he shows us this picture out here, and it does say 667 gigs. I think he has the Russian version. And some of you have spotted the fact that it does say HDD, right? I'm also weird about that one as well. Like, why does it say HDD, right? It should say SSD, but apparently it says HDD. But the reason I'm gonna say this is not cap is because, of course, like, PS5 is 825 gigs. The OS will reserve it, and realistically, it should be anywhere between 660 to 720 gigs. That's personally where I stand. Of course, we saw Xbox Series X, right? It's gonna be 1 terabyte, but the free space is gonna be 802 gigs. That's according to people who got it early. Like, I'm not saying that, that's according to people who got it early. And now Xbox Series X, instead of being 512, it's gonna be 364 gigs. It do be like this, and PS5 is also gonna be 667 gigs, right? But thankfully, man, Black Ops is gonna be 135 gigs. Roberto Serrano also did put up this image, right? This is from the dev kit version, okay? So this is a dev build, and that's a 664 gigs as well. Of course, it's not 100% confirmed, but you gotta understand that it does come from a guy that has the Sony Pony console early, right? And now he took down the video, right? So that is kind of sus. Like, wouldn't you say? That is kind of sus, right? And seriously, dog, why can't we have like 512 gigabytes for the Series S, right? Why can't we have like 825 gigs for the Sony Pony console? You're saying it's 825, right? And it's at the end of the day, you get 667 gigs. So needless to say, this is everybody right now. But share your expertise, turn those notifications on. I'm gonna keep all of you stud muffins in the loops. Click on any of the video on the screen, you're gonna get a kick of dopamine, and I will see you right there.